So we'll look at that evil thinking you're evil, how that is as an example, how that can be it's a tremendous cause of suffering. And that's taught in some religions. It's taught in some Christianity. It's not what Jesus taught, but it is what sometimes you find in Christianity and other religions as well, that we come from a source of darkness and that we are constantly striving to be good enough, but we never are. That's not helpful. I mean, it's good to be able to look and see where we've gone astray, but just wallowing around in that ideology of being evil is not helpful. That keeps you chained to suffering. So to liberate yourself from that, you would look at it and you go, okay, how would have begun to think about myself as being evil? And you think about, oh, I was told this and I was told that, or I saw this, I was treated this way. I was told I was evil if I got angry. I was told I was evil if I didn't believe this way or I didn't do this. I mean, for myself, I had an abusive childhood. And I loved my father and my mother, and we have a respectful relationship. At this point, my father has passed away. But at that time, no parent can teach what they don't know. And so I was taught by my mother that getting angry would make me just like my dad. My dad was abusive and mean. At that time, he was very mean. He had rage issues. And I'm sure he had his reasons for why he had them. But I was taught that if I got angry, I would be just like him. Well, I had developed a hatred for my father when I was very young because I felt he was unfair and abusive. And so that twisted my own mentality of her telling me how I was evil if I was angry. Pretty much set me up to really just go down. I mean, downhill all the way. So looking at that, the cause of that was just misinformation. My mother didn't understand what she was saying. She was probably wishing for me to not have a personality like my father, but that's not what you teach a child. You're stunting someone. All people get angry. And you'll find that in a lot of religions that, don't get angry. Don't get angry. Well, if you're a human being, you're going to get angry. You are going to get angry. It's going to happen. Feeling you're horrible for it is not helpful. That generates repressed anger. And that makes you more angry. And if you think you're evil because you're angry, then you create an energy that cycles round and round, building up like you have a time bomb in you. Because you think you're evil, and every time you get mad, you've proved to yourself you're evil, you're not good because you got angry. Well, that is delusional thinking, and it's not helpful. And really, it's basic emotional maturity, emotional literacy. It took me most of my life to understand that my origin is as pure now as it was before I was even born. I am pure being. In there, regardless of my ignorance and my imperfection in human form, I have a pure source. I am from the pure source, and I am of that pure source. So that evil thing is delusion that got in my way. So that's understanding the cause of the suffering. How to change it it's like the third that there's suffering, but there's a way out. I had to change the way I thought about myself, how I think about evil, how I consider my emotions. So anger is not evil. Anger is just anger. Anger is seeing something that you're frustrated with. You're frustrated, or it's unjust, and sometimes it can be very ego-driven, like I didn't get what I wanted, And you look at it and you go, that's just me pitching a fit because I didn't get what I wanted and I need to work on that. That is my personal issue. And that's my personal issue I need to work on. But when you get frustrated and angry because a situation is chaotic, or someone you love hurts you, or whatever, or what if you see somebody being hurt? See somebody being hurt. You're going to get angry if you see someone being hurt and abused. That's not evil. That's just anger. It's what you do with it and understanding what it is. So seeing it and understanding that I got angry and I'm going to get angry doesn't make me evil. It just makes me human. Help me transform those patterns of thinking and end that cycle of building up the anger and the frustration and the hatred towards myself that would make me evil, that would make me act evil and hate myself more. It makes you blow up. So this is just emotional literacy. It's just understanding yourself, understanding your language of emotions. And your emotions are in language. They're less about what other people are doing and all about what your soul or your depth of being is telling you at the time. It's not a clear language. You have to work through it and feel your way through it. You can't sterilize yourself of emotions. It's part of being a human being, and it's part of the joy and the sorrow is having emotions. But there is a cause and effect for all suffering and all pain. And so that is the spirituality of cause and effect. There is a reason we experience life the way it is. So in a little example of using myself, yes, I still get angry. But if I get angry, I don't hate myself for it. I've learned to go, well, if it's really bad, I'm going to do better later. And I'll do my prayer practices or mantras to calm myself down. And I sit and I reflect on, what is the cause of my frustration? It doesn't consume me, nor does it make me think stupid things about myself. I'm not going to hell because I got angry. I am responsible for what I need to do in my life, but sometimes it just breaks down to do the best you can. Just do the best you can. Forgive yourself for your imperfection, because human beings are all imperfect. There is no such thing as a perfect human. I mean, maybe Jesus was a perfect human. Maybe the Buddha was a perfect human. I don't know. I didn't meet them in person, but I bet they were. But they probably were emotionally functional, stable people. And they emitted their pure essence out to other people. They weren't confused by who they were as a human being and a spiritual being at the same time. So I am hoping that sheds a little bit of light on the spirituality of cause and effect, that how we think, how we view a situation, and a lot of it has to do with your emotional literacy, is going to cause you suffering or not. And there's certain things you're just not going to get out of, and that's pain and suffering. I mean, pain and sorrow. Suffering, yes, you can work that out, but sorrow is something different. If you love somebody, you're probably going to feel sorrow at some point. It's painful to love people, but it is of great value to love people, because that is the quality we do want to cultivate on this planet. Love, compassion, tolerance for others. If you can't love warm and fuzzy, then at least you don't want to harm somebody, that you can help even people who are not your friends, who are people that might not treat you well, but you can at least be respectful, or, if they're starving, you can give them food, you can help them somehow. I mean, that's kind of your, it's not as complicated as we make it. It is really about just doing the best you can and being as compassionate to yourself as much as it is to others, because what you feel toward yourself, you're going to be able to more readily feel or offer to others or project towards others. So that would be all I have to say for the moment on the spirituality of cause and effect. I hope it helps. Again, my name is Pamela Stansberry. I'll tell you more about myself. Maybe I'll just do a bio because you don't want to listen to me right now, except on what I'm trying to just share. And you have a great day. Be blessed. Thank you.